I was brought up heavily involved in the education system. Both of my parents were teachers. My mum was a primary school teacher and my dad was a maths teacher, funnily enough, at the secondary school that I went to. Well, by coincidence, my uncle also happened to be a head of physics, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a sort of family-run school, even though none of them were actually in charge. But the education system just doesn't seem to prepare you for what you need in life. I mean, as I look back on my life now, it's like, what did I actually learn? I obviously had the desire to gain approval from my parents, and so maths and the sciences were the easy route for me to go down. So you just fall onto a path that, one, you might find easy, and two, it seeks you external approval, but none of it actually fulfills what's in your heart. And going through life not acknowledging what you want and acknowledging what's in your heart and how you can go about fulfilling that, it just leaves you living a horrendously hollow life. I mean, I went through school thinking I was doing really pretty good. I always got quite good grades, sometimes very good grades to be fair, but it was like, what do they actually mean? And then you move on to the whole university experience, and for me university was never about choosing what direction I wanted to go on in life. It just was the sort of next step after school. So with useless careers advice and sort of lack of guidance and that thing, I sort of just stumbled into, well, ended up doing a maths degree. Didn't start on a maths degree, but reverted back to type after one term when someone wanted me to do some coursework, and that really didn't fit in with my schedule of enjoying university life, which, to be fair, enjoying university life really was just enjoying this, and quite a lot of it. And it seems rather strange that you pay a lot of money to go to university and what you learn is how much you can drink. And if you find out that you can actually drink quite a lot, what you actually learn is fuck all, because you spend most of the time basically pissed. And when you see what's going on in the world now and all this thing on tuition fees and just people having to pay thousands to go through university, and knowing that 70% of them are probably going to come out with little idea of what it is they want to do, but I mean, probably a fair good idea of how much fun they can have and how much they can drink, but it's like, is that really worth £27,000 over 3 years? I mean, I don't really think so, personally. And if you're like me, I mean, I went to university really, I was a very young and naive sort of 18-year-old, so drinking just was the way of coming out of the shell. And you don't realise that's what you're doing. So you just think you're having fun when you're drunk, so you just carry on drinking. And that story just carried on for approximately about 19 years. And it's like, why? What? What is this about? How did I manage to get to 37 years old knowing little more about what I wanted to do, apart from, well, sober up eventually? And the other problem with drinking is that it kind of takes the edge off your rational brain's ability to make decisions that really support you. I mean, some of the things I've done over the years, I mean, thankfully, it's a real relief that I can't actually remember many of them, to be fair. Because otherwise I think I'd be quite horrified to look back and, I mean, if I'd have been the star of the Truman Show, it would have been fucking great entertainment for everybody else, but I probably would have committed suicide by now, I think, if I'd have had to watch that back, because it would have been quite horrendous. I mean, waking up in ditches and sort of sleeping under cars and things like that. I mean, to be fair, that car I did sleep under was actually my own car and it was in my drive, but I just couldn't actually open the front door because I was too pissed. Which seemed a really sensible thing to do at the time, but hey, what can you do? And it just totally takes your life off gear. You just end up, well, staggering really, rather than ambling through life, rolling around, just doing nothing of any real fulfilment or entertainment or value, and you're just meandering through life, doing what you think you need to do to survive. And it's like, why is life about survival? Life should be about enjoyment. It's like, we're down here, we've got one chance. It's like, who gives a fuck where we came from? Does it matter if there's a God or not? It doesn't actually change my experience of life. My experience of life comes from what's in my heart, and creating what's in my heart, and bringing that into fruition, and enjoying the love that you get for when you're doing what's part of your innermost being. Now, I spent 18 years working as an accountant, which, as most of you can probably guess, is a thrill-a-minute ride of playing with numbers. And you're probably spotting a common theme here, having gone through school doing maths, going to university doing a maths degree, going to work doing accountancy. It's like, wow, I've explored so many different avenues and opportunities. I've really seen what I can do with my life, and it's like, no, I haven't, have I? I've just bumbled along and let life's dull road that society sort of planned for me unfold. I mean, talk about not walking the red carpet, is walking the grey carpet, that one. I mean, getting up every day to put on a grey suit to go to work, to spend a day really not enjoying yourself and going home again, and then deciding that you've not really enjoyed the day, so you better have a drink or something else just to take the edge off. Now, all the people I've worked with over my life, I've really always connected with and got on, and it's like, there's so many great people out there doing great jobs for organisations that don't deserve them. And the people within organisations, you can just see their hearts, you can see how much fun they want to have, but they're just constrained. It's just disappointing to see people's lives not being what they want it to be. There should be more to it than this.